Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 430 based on novel. So let's start. The deafening space storm is like a dimensional storm that cuts the world one after another, and it becomes more and more intense in the high altitude of the endless fire domain, and there is a vaguely terrifying power that can wipe out the world. The power of the Holy Sea Angels really lives up to its reputation. Kaylin's delicate body stands up, and it also stands in the sky with 1 foot, and the endless power of the 10-colored swallowing python floats in the body. If the power of the 10-colored sky swallowing python is at its peak, even the peak reincarnation level powerhouse would not dare to be arrogant, but now the power of the 10-color in Kaylin's body can only be controlled at about 7 or 8 layers, and its strength is only close to 8. Around Xingduxian. After he has fully controlled the power of the 10 colors, he will go to the center of the demon world to spy on the way of supreme reincarnation. Since you are obsessed, then. Kelly did not use angel wings. In her opinion, in the endless fire territory, Fengwana had already taken away the few remaining high-level executives in order to stabilize the Holy Sea battle, and now there are very few 8-star fighting immortals here. There are very few, and the power of reincarnation alone is enough to capture them completely. Above the distant sky in the endless fire domain, Kelly raised her hands high above her head, and a milky white ruling holy sword stood out. However, just as Kelly's light judgment sword was about to slash at Kaylin, a huge black creature suddenly appeared behind Kaylin, turning into a strange shadow and facing the judgment holy sword. The mysterious black shadow and the bright holy sword contacted, 2 completely different terrifying energies, which turned out to be extraordinarily enchanting to render the entire sky, and a sharp explosion sound that stabbed the soul incessantly. What? Although Kelly didn't have any favorable impression of Kaylin, she did not dare to underestimate the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python that radiated from her body just now. The holy sword of light is indestructible, but under the attack of the mysterious shadow, it slowly crumbles and melts. Venom? Kelly frowned, and then she stared at the sky attentively. The breath of light on the holy sword was gently nibbled up and destroyed by it, and the culprit was the gorgeous mist released by the mysterious shadow. There is a huge black shadow shrouded in the gorgeous fog, which makes people unable to distinguish what is inside, but at this time, the colors that are close to the colorful above the gorgeous fog are extremely dazzling and dazzling. Choking venom. That kind of venom, if it is contaminated by the slightest, I am afraid that it will be killed instantly. What is this? Forget it. Stop doing unnecessary resistance, otherwise you will only implicate countless innocent people behind you. Kelly stopped for a while and confronted Kaylin in the sky. The power of the 10-color swallowing python is no longer comparable to reincarnation. Even if the power of the 10-color on the woman in front of him is not complete, Kelly, who is as strong as the reincarnation level, can smell extremely heart-pounding fluctuations. 10-color swallowing python, open mouth can swallow the sun, moon, and stars. Go. Cai Lin ignored Kelly's words. She knew that every step she took was related to the safety of the endless fire territory. Kaylin's sleeves floated, and a flashing colorful halo shot out directly, and then an extremely ferocious roar came out. The fog of venom and the power of the source of the bright-colored scales poured in, and the black shadow slowly revealed its original appearance. Looking at the sudden change, Kelly stared at the black shadow wrapped in the mist of venom, and under her gaze, the mist of venom was like pieces of scales, suddenly falling from the sky. For a while, in the shadow, it seemed that some terrifying creature was about to break out of the ground. Medusa Snake Spirit. In the endless fire territory, where the snake people were stationed, the stewards of the Medusa clan raised their heads and watched the shadows slowly fall off and recede from the sky, and their voices became excited. It turns out that her Lady Queen is actually preparing for the ferry to return to the robbery. Immediately, countless strong snake people cheered and cheered. There are many branches of the snake people, but without exception, they all have the blood of the snake, and the swallowing python is the overlord level of the snake monster. The 10-color swallowing python is undoubtedly the real leader of the snake monster. Legend has it that during the First World War, the power of the 10-colored sky swallowing python surpassed reincarnation and reached the highest realm. If future generations can obtain its blood essence or inheritance, they will naturally have the opportunity to covet the supreme Tao. But in the final analysis, the cultivation of the Medusa clan is different from that of the general snake people, not to mention the powerhouses like Kaylin who have obtained the inheritance of the 10-colored swallowing python. The current Kaylin, the power of the Shurtsai swallowing python, has mastered the realm of colorful and 8-colored, and she is hard enough to find an opponent in the 8-star fighting immortals, even with Kelly's heart palpitations, so there is such a stalemate. and the so-called Medusa snake spirit in front of him was transformed by the power of the 10-colored swallowing python in Kaylin's body. Cuckoo. With a sound, the black shadow energy shattered instantly, and a ferocious beast with a body exceeding 100 meters stepped into the sky and surrounded Kaylin. 8 colors. Kelly knew a lot about the legends of the Medusa family. Looking directly at the snake spirit's forehead, there were already 8 extremely bright colors emerging. This monster, about 100 feet tall, is different from ordinary snake monsters. It is surrounded by an extremely dense fog of venom. Its enchanting pupils are filled with violent aura, and a faint fragrance emanates from its body. Emerged from above. More importantly, on the body of this snake spirit, the scales are extremely strange. If you look closely, there are also 8 colors lingering on the scales. The snake spirit transformed by the power of the 10-color swallowing python. If the 10 colors gather, it is comparable to the reincarnation-level powerhouse. As for the so-called 9-layer reincarnation, I am afraid that only by going to the demon world can we hope to crack it. Kill. After a while, the color scales and the 8-color snake spirits attacked him one after the other. The Kardashian fight that shocked the world. The so-called 8-color swallowing python spirit is nothing more than this. Bright fingers. Looking at Kaylin and the frenzy in the eyes of countless people in the endless fire territory behind her, Kelly smiled contemptuously, raised her palms slightly, and even kept her body in the air. Reincarnation. It's still a reincarnation. At this time, Kaylin stopped, and the 8-colored Medusa snake spirit burst out with an extremely melancholy mood, constantly reminding her of the danger level of the woman in front of her. That kind of power is definitely not something she can handle. Boom. In a short period of time, Kelly's breath soared, and the breath directly reached the first level of reincarnation. The milky white light filaments were like pieces of light feathers, quickly converging on her fingertips. After the blink of an eye, a giant milky white finger that was only an inch away, dazzling like a crystal, brewed out. Medusa snake spirit. 8 colors swallow the world. Kaylin could no longer think about whether she could take this attack. Countless powers gathered in an instant, and immediately controlled the 8-colored Medusa snake spirit, opened her mouth, and the 8-colored power erupted together, suddenly attacking her. The giant finger of light swept away. Kaylin knew that endless fire territory was Xiao Yang's last reliance, and once he was defeated, the next would be the other powerhouses in endless fire territory. Kaylin didn't want to see that kind of blood flow, even if she had to pay everything for it. The finger that contained the power of reincarnation penetrated the heavens and the earth. When it first came into contact with the body of the Medusa snake spirit, the bright breath of the sky dimmed instantly, and a rare breath of death appeared in Kaylin's heart, even the huge snake spirit. The body was directly twisted up. At this moment, Kaylin's body was icy cold, and Medusa's snake spirit was struggling to support, but the distance failed. I am afraid it is only a matter of time. In the distance from the sky, a faint aura came quickly. That aura was as gloomy as a ghost, and there was even a hint of aura that Kaylin was familiar with. That is the unique breath power of the Xiao clan. Ying, take everyone away, everyone, including them in the basement. Above the sky, while Kaylin resisted the fierce offensive, a rush of soul transmission within her body fell into Mu Ying's mind without a trace. Angel Kylie's strength is too terrifying, and now she only has the power to control the 8 colors, and her strength is no different from that of ordinary 8-star fighting immortals in the middle and late stage. If it weren't for the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python, she would have already fallen into the hands of Angel Kelly. Cai Lin knew that she could delay the time running out, so she could only make this last resort and do her best to keep it for the endless fire territory. The last flame of hope. Boom. With a sound, Mu Ying didn't respond, but there was a flash of determination in her beautiful eyes. The pink flames and the blue flames rose together, surrounding them, and the aura of seeing death as if they were at home set them off like a Valkyrie. Mu Ying's delicate body was shocked, and at the same time, she came to the sky, and the dazzling power was injected into the snake spirit. Even if it was a short-lived, she vowed to work with Kaylin to resist the giant finger of light that could wipe out everything. Because the two of them are the 2 recognized mistresses of the endless fire territory. Master Mistress. Looking at this scene, the eyes of many strong people in the endless fire domain behind them couldn't help but turn red, and a grief passed out. Perhaps their strength is outstanding in the endless fire realm, but in the face of the divine power of Angel Kelly, they appear extremely insignificant. At this moment, looking at the sky high in the sky, Kelly is like a depriving the 2 mistresses of their lives. In the endless fire area, nearly 1 million people, with big eyes and fists clenched tightly, the corners of his mouth became extremely ferocious, glaring at the sky. Zhu Jin, Fen Tian and the others rushed towards the sky, trying to do their part, but in the endless fire realm, Yang Kai, Shufu and other seniors also flew into the sky at the same time with hundreds of elites, trying to resist Angel's might. For a time, the scene was very spectacular, but no matter how many people there are, most of them are only some strong people with strength ranging from 3-star Dozian to 6-star Dozian. Even if they are united to deal with Kelly Xion's blow, it is also abnormal. Of insignificance. But they knew that this battle could not be won, and even if they were facing downfall, no one thought about taking a step back. Taking a step back is the base camp of the Endless Fire territory and the home they rely on for survival. Millions of people are united, and the Endless Fire field at this moment seems unusually united. Such a prosperous and united Endless Fire domain has cost the two mistresses too much effort. I don't want to see it so shattered. That guy Xiao Yang has tried his best so many times, let us old bones do our best this time. A series of righteous and awe-inspiring voices emerged, and suddenly here, scenes of hot aura emerged at the same time. That is the breath of self-destruction. These veterans of the Endless Fire territory actually want to buy their escape time at the cost of burning their own lives. It's a pretty good force, but it's a pity that there is a demon leader. Since you don't follow, then fall here completely. Seeing such a righteous and awe-inspiring move by the hundreds of powerful people around, Kelly smiled. Crack. The holy sword shattered and turned into countless threads of light that tightly entwined Kaylin and Mu Yingying. An irresistible breath of light suppressed the two of them. I am afraid that they would be completely crushed and turned into powder after the breath. The body and spirit are destroyed. Bright judgment. Fall from the sky. Zaidu waved his hand, and endless rays of light and white light rushed out rapidly, with a light and sacred aura, directly killing the two of them. Divine power is vast and unmatched. Go. Snake burst. Kaylin pushed Mu Yingying back, and then many strong people were also shocked by Cai Lin's actions. There are traces of self-destruction. In the sky, countless white rays of light sting Kaylin, and the severe pain made Kaylin's complexion look extremely pale, and behind Kelly, countless white rays of light turned into a giant blade of the sky, easily tearing the sky. The momentum of thunder blasted away at Kaylin. The giant blade of the sky, the breath of countless angels lingered, the power was infinite, and it was extremely shocking. When did the Holy Sea Angels become so arrogant and domineering? The power of clan lines, hang. A cold hum, accompanied by a soft halo, completely spread to the sky. A black energy, like lightning, emerged from the sky in the distance, and the heaven and earth shook suddenly and gently. After a while, a black giant sawtooth beam of light, rushing and whistling, suddenly attacked Kelly. What? Bang bang bang. At this moment, Kelly's expression became darker. Although the terrifying attack in front of him was quite weak, the giant blade of the sky that he had brewed was completely disintegrated by this force. Xiao Clan. Kelly looked up, and on the edge of the sky in the distance, 4 figures, 2 men and 2 women, stood slowly. Among them, there was a man, with a black line between his eyebrows, exuding a heaven and earth. Strong force. Based on Kelly's experience, it is not difficult to detect that it is the smell of the exclusive Xiao Clan. Hey, 2 sisters-in-law, fortunately caught up. After the blink of an eye, a figure slowly paced, and instantly surrounded Kaylin and the two, smiling broadly. Xiao ghost. At this time, Cai Lin reluctantly regained some composure, patted the violently undulating chest and the snake spirit struggling beside her, and said in surprise. Xiao Yang naturally told himself about Xiao Gui, but didn't their family of 4 go somewhere to subdue Shenyang? 2 sisters-in-law, don't worry, my father is here, this time it will definitely be saved. Xiao Gui's voice became extremely firm, guarding Kaylin and Mu Yingying. On the other side, headed by Xiao Zifan, along with Yu Rua and Xiao Gui's wife, Luo Menglan, the 3 slowly stepped into the air and surrounded Kelly with a horn. Why does the Xiao family still have descendants of Dakian? It's astonishing. Kelly looked at the 3 people beside her and smiled slightly. The strength of these 3 people is only in the ranks of the 7-star fighting immortals to the 8-star fighting immortals, and they can't cause any obstacles to herself at all, but the power of the clan marks on Xiao Zifan's forehead makes her feel extremely irritable. Is it? Wn Yang Zhensha, hanging. The 3 roared, countless energy overflowed, forming a fiery sea of fire that was thousands of meters in size, completely detonated, and endless energy swept out. That kind of violent energy fluctuations might be enough to kill the real 8-star fighting immortals. Strong. Light. Kelly waved her hand gently, and a light curtain suppressed her like the sky. Boom. The attack of several people just touched, and suddenly the space trembled violently, and countless surging energies burst out like energy tides. The entire endless fire area also seemed to be abnormally shaken and disturbed, shattered in an instant. Bang bang bang! Even though the powers of the two were not at the same level, the power of Xiao Zifan's clan lines actually broke through Kelly's defense and hit the skin of the defenseless body. The power of Xiao Zifan's clan lines seems to be able to ignore the defense of light. You are courting death. Kelly, who had won the ticket, saw that the skin on her arm was actually ripped apart by the power of the clan mark, and a trace of bright red blood dripped down, and the anger in her voice was particularly clear and harsh in this whirl. On his cheeks, a rare, fierce and vicious color emerged, and a burning sensation came from the skin above his arms. Looking at the calm people below, an extremely terrifying anger swept out. What a horrible guy. After a while, Xiao Gui also joined the battle together. The four of them surrounded Kelly, giving Kaylin Mu Yingying a momentary respite. The repression of the angel's prestige was too strong. If it weren't for the appearance of Xiao Zifan and the two of them, I'm afraid their situation would be even more embarrassing. Holy flame, the power of clan lines, seems to be of little use to this guy. Seeing such anger, a trace of divine aura emerged from his delicate body. Xiao Zifan frowned, hesitatingly said, with his current strength of the 8-star fighting immortal, it is not difficult to see that Kelly in a state of rage has turned into anger and is ready to use it. More terrifying attack. Angel wings. Destroy the world. As tyrannical as her reincarnation angel, she was actually injured by a powerhouse with the strength of an 8-star fighting immortal, and a fierce murderous aura and a sacred halo swept out uncontrollably. Sure enough, it's an angel of the Holy Sea. At this moment, Xiao Zifan's eyes became deep, and the black clan lines on the eyebrows became more dazzling, and there was a faintly mysterious fluctuation. Father, this guy is too strong. Luo Menglan's beautiful eyes on the side showed a slight consternation. Surrounded by the breath of holy flames, there was still a strong fluctuation suppressing her. The power of the angel's wings was definitely not enough for them to resist. That guy should still need a little more time. He has to persevere. Xiao Zifan looked down, and it seemed that he had seen Xiao Yang's figure below through the kilometer of void. The two belonged to the Xiao clan and were naturally connected. Everyone, join hands with me. Defend the endless fire territory. At this time, Kaylin and Mu Yingying moved forward together, standing on the same front as Xiao Zifan and the others. Because they know that this is the last chance. A group of ants, since they are so stubborn, let's fall under the glory of God. The power of angels kills all evil. God shines in the world. A high-pitched Sanskrit sound, accompanied by scenes of milky white filaments emerging from the edges of the endless flames, slowly formed an unusually dazzling pentagram at Kelly's feet. The 5-point star formation is extremely mysterious, and there is a surge of divine light in it, which is extremely holy. A near-forbidden level attack. She wants to completely destroy this place. Do it, you must not let this attack fall, otherwise the base camp of the endless fire territory will completely collapse, and under this kind of attack, the entire territory of thousands of miles will be turned into dust. Kelly's actions made Xiao Zifan look very nervous and couldn't help but say. As soon as the ghost world parted, a few of them went elsewhere to help Luo Menglan subdue Shenyang. Afterwards, the two of them became successful in their cultivation, and their strength advanced greatly. If you can walk away, how can you think that you will meet such a tricky guy just when you come here? 8-colored swallowing python. Kaylin let out a coquettish cry, and the endless energy swept out. As an endless fire domain, she had a duty to rush to the forefront. 2-color Saint Flame bead. In Mu Yingying's hands, the two holy flames were intertwined and beautiful. The power of clan lines. Xiao Zifan was also not to be outdone. Holy flame origin technique, cold mist flame realm. Luo Menglan even used the fire of her holy flame to vaguely transform into countless white mists, which was extremely eerie. One after another tyrannical fighting skill attack swept out without reservation. They had eyes with gods, without the slightest fear or retreat, and they had already tried their best. This is the endless fire territory, their homeland, and even if they defend the angels of reincarnation with the might of mortals, they are not afraid. Boom! The deafening sound of explosions emerged, and countless energy beams and attacks burst out from the huge territory of the endless fire domain. At the same time, they killed the invincible angel Kelly above the sky. The momentum was like a forest of hell. Out of control. Isn't the messenger of God comparable to a tiny creature like you? In the face of such a terrifying energy bombardment, Kelly maintained an elegant attitude from beginning to end. Although this kind of attack was terrifying, in her eyes, it was no different from playing Judja. If Xiao Zifan hadn't angered him so much, how could he have performed such a terrifying attack? The 5-point star array radiated light, and the pure white and flawless light filaments sprayed out, and fell on the bodies of countless people, giving them an indescribable warmth. One after another cracks appeared in the sky, and each person's body was invariably covered with a ray of light, but only a few people knew that at this moment, their lives were only within Kelly's thoughts. Because these filaments of light contain boundless monstrous divine power, once Kelly detonates, I am afraid this place will be completely reduced to ruins. Because these filaments of light are creatures of angelic power, die. Without saying much, Kelly's attack was brewing, her palm was gently raised, and the boundless rainbow of light was like a meteorite tilted down from the sky. Trying to detonate, ready to bloodbath the endless fire domain that has no life here. A sound. This piece of heaven and earth suddenly became dark, and the gloomy thunderclouds of lightning and thunder ripped apart the sky, and abnormal shapes emerged. Ghost creatures. With this sudden scene, the 5-point star formation under Kelly's feet instantly dimmed, and her eyes exuded a hint of surprise. Ghost Realm and Do Di continent have extremely strong seals, and normal powerhouses cannot cross them, but now the aura emanating from these gloomy thunderclouds is clearly a ghost. Angel's power comes from light. Without the nourishment of light, Kelly's strength is greatly reduced now. The yin and yang formula, all things are born and die. Remnant seal. Just when Kelly hesitated, a deep roar like a bell fell from the sky above the thunderclouds in the sky. Boom. Kelly looked up, and saw a surging ghostly gas turned into a black mark of 100 feet. The black mark carried an extremely terrifying wave that suppressed her. Angel wings. At this moment, Kelly was not hiding and tucked, and 4 pure white angel wings solidified in an instant. The angel wings were gently stirred, and it turned out that the gloomy ghost mark was easily disintegrated in an instant. Angel wings kill. After cracking the spooky ghost mark, Kelly stepped on the pentagram, and the angel wings behind her pushed her breath to the peak. A touch of contempt appeared on the corner of her mouth, and then the 4 angel wings squirmed rapidly, and the volume swelled for a while, facing the gloomy figure above the sky burst out. Such a fierce attack, if you are hit, I am afraid that you will die in an instant. A voice. A rather strange voice spread out, and suddenly the 4 incomparably bright angel wings suddenly froze when they approached the gloomy figure. This is the 6th evil soldier in the ghost world. Yin-Yang order. This is Mu Feng. Mu Feng. Everyone was dumbfounded, watching such a fierce attack on the sky, and looking at the black figure. Mu Yingying couldn't help but said. However, as soon as Mu Yingying's voice fell, and before the other strong men had other thoughts, the 4 angel wings in the sky shook slightly, and the boundless arc of light spread out, and the entire gloomy world burned, causing it has become quite sacred here. The terrifying angel's wings showed no mercy. At an extremely alarming speed, they tore away the black figures in the gloomy thunderclouds. Along the way, the void was forcibly torn apart. A black crack. The evolution of this void is extremely uneasy. Even the countless people below listened to the harsh sound, the eardrums were shaken with blood, and the scalp was numb, as if it was the end of the day. It's Mu Feng. After he left the Xianling continent, he went to the ghost realm. He didn't expect to see him for a few years, and his strength was so terrifying. Mu Yingying and a group of elders behind them took action to resist the Yue of angel wings, and immediately said, "Evil soldiers of the ghost world, why do you have such a thing? The sky is gloomy, there is no sky, and it is extremely gloomy, so the brilliance of the angel's wings is even brighter." At this time, above the sky, the incomparable attack of the angel's wings is like hitting a stubborn stone, unable to move at all. Of course it's to kill you. The yin and yang method, broken and extinct. Yin-yang order, no. Yin-yang. Seeing Kelly like this, Mu Feng moved. The black crystal defense all over his body was directly removed, and immediately turned into a black crystal block the size of a palm at a speed visible to the naked eye. On the black crystal block, there are special lines like silkworms, and even the center of the crystal block is written with the word yin and yang. After a few breaths, the gloomy thundercloud suddenly began to boil and roll, and the rolling thunder was like the wrath of the sky, releasing endless coercion. A bolt of lightning emerged from Mu Feng's body, and immediately a very special force of yin and yang was born. Under Mu Feng's subtle control, it suddenly hit the angel's wings, causing a thunderous sound that resounded through the sky. Whoa! Now without the nourishment of light, the angel's wings are like a single tree that cannot be supported. It swayed gently. Bang bang bang! The feathers of the angel's wings fell to the ground like a meteor, causing countless energy ripples on the complete ground, flying sand and rocks, strong winds, and the scene was extremely hot. Mu Feng's attack contained the sinister evil energy of the sixth evil soldier in the ghost world, so he broke through the defense of Angel's wings in one fell swoop and directly hit Kelly in the abdomen. A scalp-numbing roar resounded through the sky. I'm going to kill you. Feeling the severe pain emanating from her abdomen, Kelly spurted out a mouthful of blood. Her eyes became scarlet, staring at Mu Feng like a man-eating beast. His own dignified reincarnation angel was actually injured by two 8-star fighting immortal-level humans before and after. This is a shame for me. It's a little bit worse. After doing all this, Mu Feng also came to Xiao Zifan's side with the yin-yang token in his hand. Although he had obtained the inheritance and great opportunity of the King of 10,000 Ghosts, he had not yet reached the realm of great achievement, otherwise he could directly obliterate the angel. Everyone, long time no see. Mu Feng looked at some familiar figures around him and hurriedly said hello. It's good to be back. Mu Yingying also responded with a slight smile. But the situation is still unresolved. This space should be blocked by her. We have nothing to do but save ourselves. Kaylin was also puzzled. There is only one way now. We used fighting skills to feint and create opportunities for senior Xiao Zifan and Mu Feng. Looking at Angel Kelly, whose anger is rising, the angel's wings are closing behind her, and the temperature between the heavens and the earth is scorching hot unconsciously, and the wisps of light seem to be trying their best to break free from the shackles of the ghostly spirit, and they are about to come here. With that kind of fluctuation, it is obvious that Angel Kelly is not going to keep any more hands now. I'm afraid I won't have that chance. Mu Feng looked up and saw the gloomy thunderclouds above the sky, which were suddenly torn apart by the 4 holy white angel wings, and the brilliance was blooming. At the same time, the angel's wings roared like a wild beast, rapidly expanding, bursting with light threads, and wherever they passed along the way, a touch of warm light and a shocking force of destruction descended here. This terrifying attack is enough to wipe out everything. Die. Angel wings, light cover. The cold and loud singing voice emanated from Kelly's red lips, making the bodies of countless people here tense and their souls trembling. The power displayed by Angel Kelly today is definitely not an 8-star fighting immortal. That is reincarnation, the power of reincarnation. The effect Xiao Zifan and Mu Feng achieved just now were based on the angels who did not use their full strength. Now that Kelly is using all her strength, even if they join forces, I am afraid they will not be able to fight. Angel Kelly's singing time is quite short. Once it is finished, I am afraid this place will turn into a real purgatory. 1 minute. Last minute. Seeing this scene, Mu Feng was extremely calm, and immediately got up first, and endless gloomy ghosts were rising, blocking the sky towards the sky. The yin-yang order doesn't seem to be complete. What's going on? Xiao Zifan is well informed, so naturally he knows some things, but he didn't have time to think about it, so he shot together, trying to block the condensation of the power of the angels. Bang bang bang. Angel wings, accompanied by bursts of filaments of light, they not only nourish everyone, but also bind and lock the souls of human beings, falling from the sky, endless brilliance. Countless powerhouses in the endless fire territory tried to resist, but their strength was too weak. They were directly hit by the light silk. Their faces changed suddenly, their muscles tightened, and the sea of fighting chi in their bodies tumbled violently. Even their souls were under such a warm halo. It was extremely painful to be bombed. This is just the first step, and it has such a terrifying power. If it is completely attacked by it, I am afraid that the endless fire domain will be turned into nothing. Absolutely cannot let the wings of angels descend. Kaylin took the lead, the snake spirit and his body slowly stood up, the speed skyrocketed, and shot directly at the silhouette above the sky. When the other powerhouses saw this, they looked at each other and followed at the same time. No matter what the result was, they did not regret it at all. Fall down. The angel's wings are like the feather blades of the sky that have just been stretched. Once stretched, countless white flames on the look turn into beams of light that reach the sky, containing the sacred energy of the angel's wings, falling from the sky. It is majestic, like the supreme power above the 9 heavens Milky Way tilted down, suppressing the countless people here. The pressure of the breath of death was approaching, causing Cai Lin and the others to smile bitterly, but on their bodies, a touch of the breath of life was release. Burn life, block the baptism of light and protect the endless fire domain. Hee hee. The lackeys of the Holy See, when would they dare to come to my endless fire domain to be presumptuous? A lazy voice, accompanied by tens of thousands of brilliant fire foxes, suddenly burst out from under the ground of this restless endless train. The beams of light emanating from Firefox and Angel's wings touched, and they were evenly matched and annihilated together. After the catastrophe, everyone couldn't help but look up. It was underground under the endless fire territory, and a huge pit appeared. At this time, in the huge pit surrounded by smoke, a man's figure was looming, but the power contained in the man's body was far from the normal 7-star fighting immortal. And when I saw this guy the most, a touch of long-lost relief finally spread from the bottom of my heart. Xiao Yang. The long-lost silence lasted for a few breaths, and was suddenly awakened by the violent energy fluctuations in the sky. I don't know who whispered softly, and couldn't help breaking the silence. Well, it's me. The figure in the deep pit on the ground slowly spoke, and the voice seemed to be filled with a special magic, which made them feel warm and cordial. Cai Lin. Ying. Elder Xiao, Gui Xiao, Mu Feng. Old bamboo, old snake. My relatives and friends, master and brother, you have worked hard for you. Just leave the next thing to me. The smoke on the ground disappeared gently, and a rather thin figure stepped out step by step with a deep smile. As this guy stepped out, the entire sky became quiet, as if countless energies were just to welcome his return. Well, the power of the yin-yang order is really mysterious. Stepping out one step, a darkened white mysterious crystal was thrown back to Mu Feng. Hey. Mu Feng accepted it safely, black and white merged, and the real yin and yang order was returned to his hands, although most of the power was temporarily used, and then a group of strong men descended together. When Mu Feng appeared just now, half of the power of the yin-yang order was dispersed and moved towards Xiao Yang, so Xiao Yang was able to get out of the customs in such a short period of time, and Mu Feng's inescapable credit. After all, with the help of the resources of the entire endless fire domain, the nourishment of the 8th-grade medicinal herbs of the Yarrow family, the power of yin and yang, and the blessing of immortality in Xiao Yang's body, the nirvana transformation recipe only took dozens of days. It was only the time that Zuna needed. I'm afraid it will be longer. Xiao Yang. Looking at this figure, Kelly's attack stopped abruptly, and there was an unbelievable look in her eyes. Didn't the Pope say that Xiao Yang was in retreat in the medicine clan? Why does it appear in the endless fire domain? The passages to the 4 continents of Duty Continent have been sealed by the Pope, and now it will take several months to cross the continent. What's the problem? Angel Kelly. Xiao Yang lifted off into the sky, slowly facing Kelly. A rare smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. The trip to the medicine clan was the best chance for him to be reborn into nirvana. If it weren't for the actions of the red-clothed Archbishop Lacey and the others, they would not have achieved who he is today. Moreover, he and this 4-winged angel have long been old rivals. In the demon world, if this guy hadn't captured the demon of light, I'm afraid there wouldn't be a lot of trouble. Even if you are reborn, so what? I am reincarnation, and even more of an angel of the Holy See. Back then in the demon world, I was able to beat you around like a bereaved dog, but now I can suffer to death. Seeing Xiao Yang's fearless appearance, Kelly shrugged and snorted coldly. The angel's wings behind her were bursting with dazzling white beams of light. Body. 4-winged angel, Kelly, a reincarnation stage. Yes. Then why is your body shaking? Xiao Yang didn't make any extra moves, his deep eyes stared at Kelly's appearance quietly, and sneered. Xiao Yang knew that Kelly's strength was only the weakest in the first stage of reincarnation, and she was still not in the mainstream. After casting Angel's wings, the increase was weak, and she was now enough to cope with it. I don't know why, when Xiao Yang watched Kelly so much, an indescribable cold spread out from the depths of her body. It seemed that the danger brought by this man with only the strength of the 8-star fighting immortal in front of him was comparable to samsara. Afraid. Feel the judgment of God. Angel with 4 wings. The afterglow of light. Suppressing the heart palpitations that erupted in her body, Kelly chanted the most ancient spell of light from the corner of her mouth, and countless rays of light turned into a curtain of sky, falling from the sky. Bang bang bang. The curtain of the sky transformed by the wings of the angels drained the entire endless fire area of nearly 1,000 miles of space, the energy of heaven and earth, etc., and the terrifying power was enough to stifle everything. In the face of this level of attack, Xiao Yang smiled casually. The golden immortal golden body enveloped his body, and he displayed a demon emperor heavenly image, covering the entire endless fire domain, and immediately looked at Kelly with a smile. Boom. At the moment when the curtain of the sky and Xiao Yang's 2 defenses clashed, countless thunderous screams sounded like a crying in a low voice, and a deafening energy explosion swept the entire sky. I am afraid that the energy wind will turn into countless storms, raging against the endless fire territory, and the aftermath of that level of energy, even some 8-star fighting immortal powerhouses, dare not stay the slightest. How is it possible? The curtain of the sky fell, and Kelly's breath began to fall into a state of sluggishness. However, such a terrifying attack only made Xiao Yang's golden giant retreat dozens of steps, and did not even cause any substantial damage to the endless fire territory and Xiao Yang's damage. One self-reincarnation, even the most incompetent level, but dealing with a guy in the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortal. Why is this so? The energy of the curtain of light slowly disappeared. Although Xiao Yang was still retreating, the space above the sky at this time was like a void devoured by a black hole. This guy, what a terrifying method. I actually injected my own attribute power and holy flame power into the 2 defensive golden bodies. Xiao Zifan laughed as he looked at the Demon Emperor celestial appearance covering the endless fire domain, and the amber fire patterns around the immortal golden body on Xiao Yang's body. Xiao Yang's 2 defenses are inherently tyrannical, and they are also blessed by the fire of holy flame and its attributes. Facing the current chaos of Kelly, it is naturally no problem. Don't think you can deceive me by fooling these cats and dogs. The dignity of an angel is not easy. There was a hint of suspicion on Kelly's face, but she still has a trick. Although Kelly's strength is true to the first level of reincarnation, but she is not a guy from the Holy Sea branch of Dodi's mainland, and her strength is only the first level of reincarnation that she reluctantly stepped into by borrowing drugs. A person blessed by several powers, a powerhouse who has stepped into the peak step by step, is naturally helpless. This kind of feeling is like a second-generation ancestor who took medicine and met a guy with real kung fu, and the outcome was already doomed. A lot of nonsense. I just ask you one question. Where is the demon of light now? Xiao Yang stepped out, the curtain of light shattered instantly, and the terrifying majesty made the restlessness of this space become extremely quiet. You can't protect yourself, and are you still in the mood to take care of others? It's ridiculous. As for the demon of light, let the demon emperor solve it himself, Kelly said disdainfully. She was able to detect the terrifying changes in Xiao Yang's transformation. Since that's the case, then our account with the Holy See will start with you. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, a rather mysterious power suddenly appeared on his body. Clan lines flickering, amber flames, cyanwood vines, and a touch of thunderous roaring breath. The current Xiao Yang is no longer what it used to be. Fire, wood, thunder. Kelly noticed this scene, and the whole person became extremely surprised. Thunder, fire, hell, king, wood. The power of Xiao Yang's soul slanted out, 3 groups of extremely dazzling energy, directly under the gaze of countless people, almost instantly completed the fusion. With the addition of the power of clan marks, this blow is outrageously strong. A piece of dark black wood that was about the length of an arm lay quietly in front of Xiao Yang, but anyone could clearly smell the terrifying aura emanating from it. With a sound, Xiao Yang held the Thunderfire Hell wood in his hand. The speed was like a ghost, and he appeared in front of Kelly before he could take any action. I'm an angel, you can't. Finally, after Xiao Yang approached her, Kelly realized how stupid she was, and even smelled an unprecedented fear from the wooden stick in Xiao Yang's hand. Don't worry, the guys from the Holy See will also accompany you. Crack. Thunderfire Yamamu didn't stop at all, and easily passed all the defenses of Angel's wings and hit the heart. Then Kelly's breath and body shattered like a crystal block, and the body and spirit were all destroyed, leaving no trace of residual breath. This video will end here.